Okay, I just want to make sure we're live, Diana. We are. I can see us.
I'm like pulling up myself as well.
Yes. Hi, you guys. Say hello when you hop on. Diana Guintu and Danielle Throckmorton. I'm going to give you guys just a second to get the notification, then we're going to dive right in. We want to be super respectful of your time. So as questions come to you, please feel free to write them in the comments so that you don't forget. And then we can go back and ask questions. And we know it's like one of those things where you hold back and you wait till the end and forget. So please feel free to add them as we go. If you're catching it on replay, just treat it like a live. Me and Diana both will go back and check on it. But I'm just going to dive right in and just kind of start like you guys don't know me. And then we'll go from there. But I'm Danielle Throckmorton, and I own a 6-time award-winning event planning company and host luxury retreats for women who are seeking more intention both personally and in their business or career. I have asked Diana Guintu to join us today. She was a keynote speaker in 2020 for Reach Retreat, and she's coming back and in Reach Retreat 2021. So I'm super excited. I wanted to kind of have a second to formally introduce her and then give her a second to just share. So today's live is going to be focused around Reach Retreat. I'm sure you're catching that by now, but we'll be touching on a few experiences from 2021, and then we're going to share some details about Reach Retreat 2021 that's in June. So today I'm interviewing Diana, and kind of give you a little bit of background from my perspective is that for over the past 17 years, she's done clinical work as a counselor and a corporate coach. Diana is passionate about sharing her message on the power of self-care and how you can reclaim yourself no matter where you are in life. That really resonated with me. And so when I was creating the vision for Reach Retreat, like I immediately knew that I needed Diana to be a part of this with me and a part of the bigger vision. So when she said yes to coming back in 2021, it just really solidified like that connection and what she truly brings to these women. I cannot wait to show you guys our highlights and like the fire that Diana brought. They hit my inbox yesterday, so we'll be releasing those. But Diana, I just want to open the opportunity for a second for you to just share a little bit about your background, your experience, and then I'm just going to ask you a few questions if that's okay.
Yeah, that's great. Thanks for having me here. So a little bit about me, like she said, my background is as a licensed professional counselor, and I've been a corporate health coach as well. But really what my passion is really helping women learn the power of prioritizing themselves and how that can create a healthier and happier life. And the reason why I kind of feel so passionate about this is because I myself suffered from anxiety, from an eating disorder, from postpartum depression. And when I became a mom, I just was completely lost. And I lost myself. I had no direction. And so I went on this journey of self-discovery and really learning to put myself first. And I've come to this place where I just really want to tell people and show people that it can be done. I coach women privately, and I just want women to know that they don't have to endure it and they don't have to do it alone.
Yeah, and that's something too that was really my heart behind creating Reach Retreat was just being able to have a space where like-minded women could come together and feel supported. I know especially for those who fall into the category of entrepreneur, like Diana and I do, is it can be a really lonely road. And I know too, like even in the career field, like if you're a really career driven woman, it is hard sometimes to find people that meet you and know where you are at on your journey and can really support you through this. And I think that was what was really beautiful at Reach Retreat is we had like a variety of both. And it was so neat to see how we all came together, connected, and didn't have to worry about like feeling like an outsider. I don't know. It was just really neat to find out how much of the struggle really existed with that self-care factor too, and how many of us were like, oh my gosh, like that really hasn't been top of mind or top of priority. It's funny because I've been sharing little pieces as I was the highlights from Diana, just as I was going through for Danielle too, which is our videographer and photographer for her to be able to cut and like edit some of these highlight moments for you guys to even get a small glimpse of what the time was together. But one of the things that she kept talking about was like our comfort zone and having to step out of the waiting room and really make that next level in our life. And I literally wrote that down like everywhere. I put it on sticky notes and like posted up, because that's so important. Is sometimes we just sit in the waiting room. And I specifically had a talk with Diana this week about that in my own business. And she was like, Danielle, sometimes you sit and you wait and you contemplate too long, and you need to go with what you're feeling and take that leap. So I'm just so thankful. I'm so excited to have you as a part of this. These ladies that have even been following you outside of Reach Retreat, they just know how much of a gift you are to us. Okay, so I wanted to ask you if you could share a little bit about like your favorite takeaway of like our time together in the mansion together.
Well, one is, here's the thing, ladies. If you feel, a lot of us in our lives, we are the doers, right? We are the ones that are cleaning the house, we're running the errands, we're doing the schedules. Like, if you're a woman in your home, you are probably in charge of everything, right? Like all the things. And it can get, even though we love it, we do it from our hearts, and it comes up to some of us comes a little natural, to some of us maybe not, but we still have to do it, right? When you get into Reach Retreat, it's like you are VIP. Everything is done for you. Like, there's no need to worry about what time, when, what are we doing, like what are we eating, like nothing. There are like no decisions for you to make. And it was so refreshing that we literally were just like, oh, like I don't have to do a thing except be here for me and enjoy it and connect with other women. That was like, I would say a lot of when we talked, as all of us, the attendees, we just were like amazed at how good it felt to be nurtured and cared for. And there was a piece of us that we don't get that in the real world, right? We're the ones doing the nurturing and caring.
Yeah. And that was something that made me really happy to hear, was everyone was noticing all those little details that I was trying to create for you to even have the mental space to be able to evaluate, what does it mean to live a life of intention? Like, what do I, as Danielle or Diana or Jen or Dana, whoever, like, what do I desire for my life? And what do I want it to look like? Because we are so carrying so many titles, whether that's the business owner, the wife, the mom, the best friend who, you know, maybe someone is dependent upon, but it's like, you don't even have a chance sometimes to step away and be like, what do I need? And that's where I think that self-care factor comes into, because we feel shame around that. Like, we feel shame about, should we invest in ourselves? Should we step away? Can we even go away for a weekend? Like, those are all things that we battle with, and that you were like, I'm giving you permission to do these things because it's going to make you better in those other areas. And like, that's she talks, I'm almost talking to you like in third party, but when Diana talks about like her mission, and that is to give us as women the permission to live our life, to practice the self-care, to be the best version of ourselves without guilt and shame. She always uses those two words. And I know that that is something that I battle with all the time, is that guilt and shame. But because I've been immersed in the presence of Diana and these other leaders and practicing self-care and making it a priority, I see that it is important and that it does carry out in the other areas of my life. So if you have anything else to add on that, you totally can, but I just had to share that with them.
No, yeah. I mean, I think that, you know, I use the phrase self-care is giving. When you give to yourself, you're going to be able to go home and be so much better in your relationship with your husband, with your work, with your coworkers, with everyone, because we have to be able to fill our cup first. And I think that, yes, could you do it without it? You're doing it now and you're probably okay. But I always think it's the difference between wanting to survive life or wanting to thrive in it.
Yeah. And I don't want to be in survival mode forever. And that's the other thing too, is I was so transparent with the women in this retreat. I've been so transparent with the women in my ladies group a lot of what I've created is been out of a need of my own, because I felt like, okay, I don't have a supportive circle. Like, how can I get that? And like, I know I can't be the only one that needs that. And I was literally sitting at the retreat in a attendee position. Like, I want more intention in my life. Like, I desire this. And I knew that I didn't have everything to give these girls. I didn't have all the tools, and I needed to grow too. Like, I had said something this week that came to me was through a live. I had got done working out, and another girl had motivated me to do that. And she actually signed up for my health challenge. And I was like, sometimes leaders need to be led. And like, that's something too that I think this space creates, is like Diana came in and filled my cup, and Jen came in and filled my cup. And then it was like, now Diana got to sit in a seat and hear from Jen, and vice versa. It's like, we are always needing to have that space, no matter where you're at. Even if you're perfect at that level of giving yourself that self-care, like, there's always room for you to continue to grow in that aspect. So I don't know, the self-care is giving. I literally had to go snag Diana's shirt. You guys have to see it. It's super cute. But it was something I wrote down too that day. It was like things that highlight and stood out to me. And that's a way of looking at it where it's like, it's not, you shouldn't feel guilt and shame. Like, you really are giving, not just to yourself, but to those around you. Okay, so I know I had met with Diana and I was like, okay, so Reach Retreat 2021, this is the date I'm picking. These are the locations. Like, give me the vibes. Like, do you want to be back in this space? How do you feel about this? So I just, obviously she said yes. So that's why we're here. But I want to know, like, what are you looking forward to about being back in that space? Like, why did you say yes to being a part of this again?
How much time do we have? No, but here's the thing. I think that when we look at like, am I the right person to go to Reach Retreat? I think of, if you feel overwhelmed, if you feel like, you know what, I'm just constantly giving to other people, it's hard to give to myself. I think a lot of the women that were there felt a certain kind of like loneliness, like misunderstood, like they really struggle with that. And actually, if you're sitting here watching this live and you're thinking to yourself, I don't know if I should, you're the perfect person for Reach Retreat, actually. And I think that what I'm excited about is when women walk in there, right, you see us on the first night, everybody's kind of like, not sure. Like, we all feel insecure, me included. Like, you all feel kind of like, oh, am I in the right space? But the magic that happens when all these women feeling the same way come together, there's just a sense of connection that happens over the next 3 days that is just priceless. And the healing that comes up, because you might think like, okay, I'm going to go for a retreat and it's going to be like, yeah, we get meals. Yeah, we get to relax. The healing that happens from being in that environment is like, I know I left with so much healing, and I was a speaker. And so, but I really, just being in that environment, I think that a lot of times we don't heal in our life because we don't have that environment that promotes that. The women that left there that Sunday morning were feeling confident. They felt worthiness. They gave themselves permission. It's like, they weren't the same women that came in there Thursday evening. Wouldn't you agree? Like, they were just not the same. Like, they had really kind of come into themselves more.
I agree with that. And especially because whenever we left, we've all stayed connected. We have like the private Facebook group, but like, we all followed and connected with each other, like on our social platforms and different things. And watching these women coming out of this, practicing the self-care, creating networking opportunities, like coming outside of their comfort zone. I've seen it drastically, improving their health, prioritizing when they work out. All of those things have really leveled up. And I was really excited too, because I wanted to give our founding members the opportunity first to say yes to being in this space, you guys. And the overwhelm of, yes, I want to be there, and like watching the highlight videos together and doing all that, it just, I don't know, we have friendships, and it's not even just women from Oklahoma. We had a girl come from Ohio. We had Diana come up from Texas. We had, I think we had someone else from Texas. I can't remember, but we've had people coming from all different areas to be together in this space. And I think that that's really, there's something special about how we left that space better. And that was the whole vision, right? Was like, how can we walk away from this and still show up differently? Because we don't want to just live in that bubble of the retreat where it's like, you're not worrying about cooking, or you're not worrying about all those things, but it's like the ability to create those moments of being in that intention in every day, like living out what you've learned in that space. And so that's why I always say, like, you get actionable takeaways. Like Diana challenged us. She asked us to do journal prompts. Like, what would it look like a year from today if I invested in myself and I showed up? You know, like I didn't quit. I was consistent with it. And I think a lot of us were really wanting to put that into play, is like, what if I really don't quit? I know that's been that way for me, and my personal development has been like, what if I don't quit? Especially when it comes to my exercise and my health, how am I going to be a year from now? So we can go into that another time, but it's been life-changing for me. By prioritizing my health, it's just transcended into everything else that I do. Okay, so I wanted to, Diana, like, if you have anything else you want to close on, otherwise I was just going to share a little bit about the upcoming retreat. And then just encourage you guys to fill into who needs to be in this space.
Yeah. No, I'm good.
Okay. All right. So for you guys that are curious, I know you've seen Diana and I both share, but Reach Retreat 2021 is going to be in June. It's going to be in Texas Hill Country. The details are up on the website, so I'll put it in the comments for you, but it's going to be June 25th through the 28th. And so we will be checking in and having kind of a kickoff launch party there. Guys, when I call this a luxury retreat, that's really what it is. I want you guys to feel like queens. I want you to relax. And it was so neat to hear that was the experience that I was desiring, because as an event planner and a designer, like, details matter to me. And I'm not even so sure that everyone recognizes them, but I go into what the room looks like, what's it going to smell like, what food are you eating, having a private chef, like having the connection, like what, one of the things too is I make a packing list, because as women, we're like, I don't even know what to wear. Like, I don't know where to go. This is supposed to be fun and relaxing and enjoyable. We have a freshwater river that's running behind the house. It's going to be really amazing. And so I just encourage you, like, to even put aside, like, okay, well, like, I am going to be walking into this room of women I don't know. I promise you, like, you might be coming alone, but you're not leaving alone. Like, it does not feel like that. Like, you have a circle of women who love you by the time you leave this space. I have so many fun theme things planned for us, guys. Like, the list just goes on. And so I encourage you to go check out the website. Diana and I will be releasing videos of the behind the scenes, like testimonials and so many things, but I really encourage you to fill into what Diana said. Like she described, like if you're feeling overwhelmed and you're having those things, and maybe you're thinking right now, like, should I? Then yes, like that is for you. Like if you're feeling that way and you're feeling a little bit of like pull to be a part of this space, this is where Diana says, like, don't overthink it, lean into it. But we want to encourage you to tag the girls that you feel like need to be in this space, even if it isn't you. Share this, because this is really going to be life-changing. It has been already. And so we just encourage you to spread the word and help us really change lives. That's our mission. So yeah, I think that's it, Diana.
I think so.
Well, thanks, girl. I appreciate you coming and doing this, and I can't wait to see what fire you bring to us. So,
oh, it's going to be good.